it's been a while since I've sat out here. It's been the first time in weeks we've actually got some sunshine, and it's just been so wet. It's been miserable, not been able to do anything in the garden, and it's in a shocking state, but it's to be expected this time of year. Anyway, I thought I'd come out with the doggy and have a bit of a catch up with everybody and show you around the garden. But the last few weeks have been quite difficult for me. I think life has kind of caught up with me. I've been spinning too many plates, and they kind of crashed around my ankles last weekend. I had a bit of a wobble, so I'm taking some time off of work to try and get myself on an even keel. Problem with my job is I tend to spend an awful lot of time solving everybody else's problems, but don't always have time to sort my own out. And they're not major, but they just build up over time. So I started to do some mindfulness, which I don't know if anybody is aware of, but it's a way of trying to centre yourself and rethink about what's important and what isn't. And what I discovered is that doing various different exercises, everything that kept cropping up as a solution was my garden and the therapy that it gives me, and that's definitely my happy place and where I like to be. So as soon as I saw the sun was out today, I thought, right, that's what I'm going to do. I've been cooped up indoors for over a week now. I'm feeling pretty miserable because every time I looked out the window it was just tipping down with rain. It's been cold, there's been no blue skies, whereas today it's just glorious blue skies. There's no cloud, and the sun, as you can probably see, is in my eyes at the moment, so I might be squinting a bit. But I thought, no, wrap up and come and sit out in the summer house, because that's where you spend a lot of your time in the summer and all spring, and that's where you were happiest. So that's what I'm doing today. So I'm going to have a cup of coffee, and then if you bear with me a bit, I will show you around the garden. Right, I thought I'd start up at this end, and can you see how the soil is? Because it has just rained continuously for weeks, and it's mud. It's like compacted mud. You can't stand on it, can't go anywhere near it. The kale's coming along, and the chard, and the weeds, of course. And then I've still got quite a lot of leeks. I'm using them regularly now. I made a really nice risotto yesterday, leek and mushroom, and that was nice. And they also went in a beef stew, which I did a batch cook of that, and that's all in the freezer now. So here's the broad beans I planted. I can't remember when I planted them. I think in October, but they're coming up nicely. Very healthy shoots. There's my cauliflowers. Look at that. That's brilliant. Really chuffed with that. I should imagine. Let's have a look at this one. Nothing on that one yet. What about this one? No. One's a success. This is my onions. Garlic. I'm surprised actually that they're not drowning in the amount of rain we've had, because the ground is just sopping wet. But they look healthy, so I think they're going to be alright. So the cosmos has finally succumbed to the weather. It's not looking its best, so it stopped flowering, so that's going to be coming out today. But but it was still flowering right up till the end of October. So it's done very well this year. This is my Sphalia. It's finally shed all its leaves now. But if you look closely, look at the buds. They're beautiful. Look at that. Stunning. It's the Loganberry. Beautiful colours. But they'll be shedding their leaves soon. There's my neighbour's plum tree. It's finally shed all its leaves. And guess where they've fallen? If I come down. Yep. But that's a good thing, because I shall rake them all up and put them in a pile. I've got to think about how I'm going to store them, but I shall try and make some leaf mould with that. Lavender's okay. This has quite surprised me, despite all the weather. Look at this, my lobelia is coming back into flower. If you can see that. There we go. Look at that. That's crazy. Still got some petunias. I mean, they look a bit leggy, but they're still going strong. Celeriac. I think I'm going to lift some of that today. I have to think about how I'm going to use them, if I'm going to mash them or roast them. I'll have a think. But they definitely need to come out now. Okay, so I've come into the greenhouse. It's not a pretty sight, I'll be honest. But I've just picked these, which has surprised me. And the jalapeno has still got flowers on it, despite the temperature. Looking very yellow though. And this pepper, that's also got some fruit coming, so I'm quite surprised by that. I've got this sort of bubble wrap around the plants just to try and keep them a little bit warm, but they're looking pretty sorry for themselves now. The lemons are doing okay, but they do need potting on, because I think they might have a little bit of magnesium deficiency because the tops are going yellow. You can see the veins quite clearly, so that's something I need to think about. And there's a couple of peppers that have not coped with the cold, but this one, this has got more fruit on it and another flower. It's amazing. So it's surprising how resilient plants can be. This one too. And then these are my spuds. These have never done anything. This one's trying. This one's got a little shoot. And this is the one that's done the most. But if you touch the stem, it's very, very flimsy. So I don't think they're going to produce much in here. But it was worth a try. So we may or may not have homegrown potatoes for Christmas. We'll see. I'll keep you posted on that one. Just thought I'd have a quick look at the thermometer. So it was minus 1.5 last night. So I think that's probably why everything's looking a bit poorly. 2 celeriac. So I might have that for my dinner. That's the last Cosmos of the year. See how long that lasts in there. Well, I have to say this has quite surprised me. This is my harvest for today. So considering we're right at the very end of November and the temperatures have been freezing, and I've just picked all of this. And I have a butternut squash in the fridge, so I think I'm going to do some roasted veg. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I'll speak to you all soon. Finally, I thought I'd just dare to show you my floating shelves I began making when I was doing my last video. So I said if you're lucky you might get to see them finish. Well, this is them finished, and I'm quite pleased with that. I made this as well. So that's in my little cloakroom. So something to do on a rainy day.